Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey everybody, Backpack Hack here, coming at you with another trail tip, and this applies to everybody out there, whether you just like to go on overnight camping trips at a nearby local park, whether you backpack hundreds of miles on one of the long trails that are available, or whether you're a prepper. And that is, test your equipment. That's one of the biggest fails I see people make, is they buy equipment and they never actually try it out. They just look at it, says, yeah, that'll work, and they get it out there and it fails them. For instance, imagine that you've never been on a backpacking trip and some friends of yours who are experienced backpackers invite you along. You want to try it out. You want to learn what it's like to be a backpacker. You want to experience that. Say, well, we're just going to take a real simple trip, like 4 days, 3 nights. We're only going to put in like 70 miles. So if you want to come along, it'd be an easy trip for you to get the experience on. It's like, so you go out and buy yourself a whole bunch of gear, the backpack, the tent, the stove, and the sleeping bag, and the whole 9 yards. And your first night on the trail, you're 16, 18 miles into the trail, and you have never even set your tent up. You just bought it and threw it in the backpack and hit the trail. So you're out there struggling to set up a tent. What you should have done is set that tent up in your backyard first, so you at least are comfortable with it. Because the last thing you want to do is be out in the trail trying to figure out how to set your tent up and it's raining or the wind is just howling. Now, yeah, if you're out there with experienced hikers, they'll be more than happy to help you. But what happens when you get out there on the trail and you're setting your tent up and it says, take the cross piece and install it? That's this piece. What happens if this piece is missing? And it's vital for that tent to be used and this piece isn't there. That's the worst time to learn that you're missing pieces. So always set it up in your backyard. If you live in an apartment or a townhome where you don't, or you can't set up in a backyard, or you don't have one to set it up in, ask a friend, ask a coworker, ask somebody at church, or if nothing else, go to a local park that has camping and try it out for the night. Set it up and try it. If it fails, you can always just pack up and go home. Imagine that you are out on the trail and it's a beautiful day. It's a wonderful day. You get to see the sights and you set up tent and then the weather closes in. But you think, my tent is a good one because I've read lots of reviews and it's watertight. Well, I'm going to direct you to another YouTuber called The Outdoor Gear Review. And this is a husband and wife team that does great reviews on gear itself. And I would suggest that you subscribe to your channel. I'll put a link to their channel in the description below. That they do a lot of great work reviewing gear. And he recently went through what was supposed to be a rather good tent, and the tent failed miserably in a rain. He basically had to abandon the tent because as soon as it started raining, it just started leaking. Now, to the manufacturer's credit, they have addressed the issue. They've told the Outdoor Gear Review that they're aware of the problem, they're working with it, and they're trying to take care of it. But that doesn't mean that your tent is going to be watertight. So test it out in the rain. If nothing else, get a lawn sprinkler or a garden hose and spray it and see how well it works. Let's say you buy a sleeping bag and the manufacturer says it's a 30-degree bag. Okay, fine. You're thinking, oh man, I'm just going to be curled up in freezing weather and I'm going to be nice and warm. Well, the manufacturer's rating may say you're going to survive the night. You may have a fitful night's sleep where you wake up shivering because you're so cold, but you've at least staved off hypothermia. The cold didn't kill you. You survived. That's their definition of a 30-degree rated bag. Maybe different than yours. So if you've got a sleeping bag and you want to know how cold it can get before you're uncomfortable, you got to go try it out. For instance, let's say you buy one of these little battery packs, these USB chargers for phones and tablets. And the manufacturer says it will charge your phone, let's say 4 times. Well, what are the parameters on that? How discharged does your phone have to be before they actually start testing it? 75%? 50%? 20%? 10%? You don't know. So the best thing to do is charge this up and then every once in a while plug your phone into it and charge it. Do you actually get 4 charges from, where you normally start recharging your phone? How often do you charge it up? Testing like that. You like spaghetti? You may think, well, I like spaghetti. I'm just going to get one of these and have it for my first trail meal. Well, you may like spaghetti, but you may not like this particular spaghetti. This particular spaghetti may not be palatable to you. It's edible, yes, but you may not enjoy it. So actually make one of these. Don't just buy it and hit the trail with it. Buy it, take it home, and try it out. And not only try it out at home with your home stove and your cookware that you have at home, try making it with the boil pot and the stove that you're going to use and the utensils that you're going to use. Actually, even if you're in your own kitchen, make this meal in your kitchen with the gear that you're going to have out on the campsite or on the trail. That way you're going to get comfortable with your gear, and you're going to know that this gear works. You're going to know how this works. You're going to get experience. You're going to have that level of experience that's going to give you the confidence, because if your gear fails on, let's say, just an overnight camping trip, you're 5 miles from home and you're going out on a camping trip just overnight for a weekend, on a weekend, like a Saturday night, and your tent fails. Well, you can always just pack it up, get back in the car, and go home. But if you're 20 miles onto the trail and you find out that your tent is missing a piece, that could be a dangerous situation. And if you're a prepper and you're relying on this gear to survive, and I mean survive, if this gear fails, you're going to have a hard time making it through the next few days. You want that gear to be reliable, so you want to test this gear. So that's the thrust of this video, is don't just buy something based on a review. Don't buy something based on what the manufacturer's website says. Don't buy something based on what the Amazon page says about it. Buy it and try it. That's the best advice I can give you when it comes to anything related to outdoor activities. Buy it and try it. And if it doesn't work, look for something else. This is Backpack Hack. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share my videos. Be safe out there, and I'll see you out on the trail.